Hello, hello. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope today is going great so far. And I just wanted to kind of talk to you a moment about holding your own development and working, being committed to yourself and being who God has called you to be. A couple years ago, I started a company called Seize Your Development, which means to basically grab hold to your own development. And because I know in my life, I've always taken the initiative to grow and learn and explore and be curious. And I've seen God use that in taking me in different industries and different worlds that might not collide or actually make sense. But my ability to look to be willing to look a little crazy, foolish, or stupid, to ask the questions God has used. And matter of fact, when I'm able to go to Jesus and I ask him questions and I'm reading the word, he responds because I'm seeking. I'm not only researching or looking, I am seeking because I don't care what I look like. Now, a year ago, I did a YouTube video around making sure you're not paying someone to um, paying someone or leaving your development in someone's hands. And it actually comes from the story of Saul in 1 Samuel 13, where I'm going to start at verse 19, where it states, there were no blacksmiths in Israel because the Philistines were determined to keep the Hebrews from making swords and spears. The Israelites had to go to the Philistines to get their plows, hoes, axes, and sickles sharpened. The charge was one small coin for sharpening axes and fixed goads, and 2 coins for sharpening plows or hoes. And on the day of battle, none of the Israelite soldiers except Saul and his son Jonathan had swords or spears. And I want to talk to you because the enemy will always do things to restrict your access to what you need. And we have to adapt, not in a way of, we have to be adaptable and agile in order to keep developing, keep our things sharpened. The issue is they were going to the enemy to be sharpened. And when they needed their weapons the most, they were left with dull instruments. They had the wrong instruments for the thing they needed to do. So how does this relate to today? Like, you can't depend on someone else to help you learn the word, help you to learn and be close to God. You can't depend on someone else to teach you certain things, because that is your responsibility. There's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be someone smarter than you. There's always going to be something you don't know. And it's not about knowing everything. It's about having the mindset of learning, being as a child who is curious about the world, who asks questions all the time. And God is saying, when we be as that little child, that child doesn't think that question is stupid. That child doesn't think what he's asking is crazy, or the idea, the imagination, and the creativity that children live in. Jesus is asking us to have that, to develop that if we don't have it. And for so many of us, we have waited, or we are waiting for someone to come do this. But God is like, but you have the skill to learn. You have things at your hand that you're not using, but you're waiting for someone to give you what you're needing, but you don't realize you waiting on them or you going to them, you're going to end up starving yourself. And you're not going to be ready for it when it's time to fight, when it's time to overcome certain things. Don't allow your enemy to be the person or the person you depend on to grow and learn. Saul, basically, as a leader, left his soldiers defenseless because they didn't have the money to pay for the sharpening of the tools. And if you are a leader, it is your job for those that you are meant to cover, to give them the tools and some of the resources to be able to be sharpened. Remember, iron sharpens iron. And if you're not sharpening your team, why are you leading them? Because what you're doing, you're literally looking and seeking for them to be destroyed. So don't be a selfish leader. And if you're being led, make sure that you have your weapons ready. Because when it's time, it's time. I hope this bless you. And I pray that you have a great day. Love you. Bye.